Okay, sir. All right. A very good morning, students. Let's talk with today's topic. But before going to the topic, I just want to have a brief revision, a brief recapitulation what we have studied. Okay. We have been going with our third chapter, that is metals and non-metals. Okay. And in this particular chapter, we have just completed what are metals and non-metals and their physical properties. Rather than we have finished with our physical properties of metal also, as well as chemical properties. Okay, so we have completed our topic metal completely. Now we have been left with only 2 to 3 main topics. That is, what are the chemical properties of non-metal? Second point, how do the metal react with non-metal? See, till now we have been studying that metal dilute acid or metal is reacted with any kind of metal, you know. But right now, I just want to say that we have been left with the topic how metal is reacting with metal. The first point, all right. The second point is we have been gone with the topic that is the corrosion. Corrosion, I have told you a little bit about that topic also. That is rusting, the corrosion, the different metals on reacting with oxygen and water, they get start making a layer over each. है ना? So these all topics were going to left with our topic with our session. But right now, I will just go with the numerical questions and some in-text questions that we have done with the topic of last class, that is metals and their chemical properties. Okay, we have just 4 to 5 questions. We will see that, and after that, we will start with the topic reaction of metal with non-metal. All right, so let's begin. The first question is, why is sodium kept immersed in kerosene oil? I'm repeating it again. Why is sodium kept immersed in kerosene oil? You know very well, in the very previous class, I have told you that our sodium is the super reactive metal. है ना? It is the most reactive metal. So its reactivity is so much high that whenever we put it in the air, what would happen? It would start burning. In the form of air, it would start burning. Right? So due to start burning, it would make a lot of accidents that we don't want. Yeah. So that's why we just kept that in the kerosene oil. And the best point is, bache, this particular question has been come in 2015 board exams. In your board exams 10th 2015, we have seen this question in 2 marks, that why is sodium kept in kerosene. All right. Now let's begin with the second question. Write the equation for the reaction of iron with steam. Okay. The question is, we are reacting our iron with the steam. Since I am taking the water as a steam, I would represent the small g in the bracket. What is small g representing here? Representing that my water is in gaseous state rather than aqueous state. है ना? All right. So the first question is, ऐसा क्या है कि we have taken iron with the steam rather than water? First question तो यही rise होता है कि we have seen so many metals, each metal was reacting with water, but iron is something which is reacting with steam of water. And the question, sorry, the answer of this particular question is definitely the, we know very well that iron is not so much, it's not so much reactive like sodium, potassium, and that's why iron is not so much reactive, so it doesn't react with water only. For reacting with water, we have to provide the water in the steam form. The first question, the first point. So whenever we are reacting our iron with the steam, what would happen? Definitely hydrogen gas would be released from the water, and the left we are with the iron oxide, that is ferrous oxide. I hope you have remembered it. This you have understood this concept in 9th class. 9th class में हमने पढ़ा था that iron is called ferrous rather than iron because its Latin word is known as ferrous, and that's why we have put ferrous to Fe. Okay, but same as well, somewhere it is ferric oxide also. that is Fe2O3 and so on. So these 2-3 topics you will see in the higher class, that what is the difference between iron oxide, sorry, ferrous oxide and ferric oxide. Okay, so I just want to say that whenever we are reacting our iron with water, there would be release of hydrogen gas and there would be formation of oxide. Clear, bache? So this was the second question. The next question is, we are reacting our metal with, so calcium is reacting with the water. It's in like a liquid form, or we can say it is in aqueous form. That would be much better word for water. So definitely there would be release of hydrogen gas, but as well there is formation of calcium hydroxide. Okay, so there is formation of calcium hydroxide whenever calcium is reacting with water. Am I clear? Okay, so let's move to our next topic, next question. The question is, which gas is produced when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to a reactive metal? Okay, so the question we have been provided, we have been provided with the question that we are reacting any kind of metal. We haven't provided with any particular metal, कोई भी metal उठा लो, है? And it is reacting with sulfuric acid. So what would happen when we are reacting our metal with sulfuric acid or HCl? Definitely there would be a gas release known as hydrogen. Okay, तो बच्चे ये point आपको हमेशा याद रखना है that if we are taking water, if we are taking HCl, if we are taking H2SO4, each kind of compound contains H positive ions. H positive ions की होने की वजह से it would be H2 gas. Okay, so this is the first point you must keep in your mind. Second thing is, let me take any kind of metal, since we haven't provided any particular name. I'm taking zinc. Whenever zinc is reacting with sulfuric acid, it would become zinc sulfate plus H2. That means metal on reacting with acid would make okay. So I just wanted to say that whenever we are reacting any kind of metal with sulfuric acid, it would release hydrogen gas plus a salt. So when a metal is reacting with any kind of acid, there is formation of salt. That is the first point. Second point, I just wanted to say, bache, all the NCERT in-text questions, they are super important for your board exam. I have just given with you 3 examples, and out of 3 examples, there are 2 questions which have been come in your previous question papers. Like 2012 board year, this was given. In 2015, given with why does sodium is kept in kerosene oil? Okay, so I just wanted to say that all our NCERT in-text questions, they are very super important and crucial for our board exam. So do not miss them. Okay. So now we are left with our last question. Let me see what is the last question. The last question we have been provided. How would you observe when zinc is added to solution of iron sulfate? Okay. Just give me a second, please. We have been provided zinc is getting reacted with iron sulfate. Now, bache, please tell me which kind of reaction is this? This is a displacement reaction. In the very last class, we have just seen that if we have a metal reacting with the salt of another metal, that is known to be displacement reaction, first of all. And the second point, these kind of reaction is totally based on the reactivity series. What I'm saying, that this kind of question is totally based on the reactivity series. Have you remembered that reactivity series in which we have studied that sodium, potassium, this kind of like silver, gold. This we have read, and also we have taken a short note. Now we have taken a short trick that how should we keep remember this particular topics. Like my जो sodium or potassium है, they are the super reactive, whereas the silver and the gold, they are the least reactive. Zinc and iron, they come in the middle of the reactivity series. Now the point here is zinc and iron sulfate, they are getting reacted. Is zinc much reactive than iron? Definitely yes. Zinc is above than iron, that means it is more reactive. If it is more reactive, it can easily displace the less reactive metal. Please listen it carefully. Any kind of metal which is more reactive, it can easily replace the less reactive metal. We do not care what is the nature of metal, we just talk about this reactivity series. Okay, if in this reactivity series the metal is highly reactive, it can easily replace the other metal. So what would be the answer? Zinc sulfate plus iron. Okay, so this is my final reaction. All right, bache, simple questions, in text questions that have studied. Now we are going to move with our next topic, that is, do metals and non-metals react? But besides that, there is a question that is also provided to you, but I hope you can easily do that. The question given 4 different metals, and on the basis of displacement reaction, we have been told that which metal can replace another one. Suppose I'm saying that A is replacing C but not replacing B. So that means we can easily say, क्योंकि A हमारी C को replace कर सकती है पर B को replace नहीं कर सकती, that means B is much reactive than A, but A is reactive than C. क्यों? क्योंकि A के पास कैपेबिलिटी है वो C को रिप्लेस कर सकती है, लेकिन A के पास कैपेबिलिटी नहीं है कि वो B को रिप्लेस कर पाए. और ये रीजन कब होता है? जब हम रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज के अकॉर्डिंग देखें कि कौन सी मेटल हमारी ज्यादा रिएक्टिव है. So the question was asked that arrange these 3 metals in the form of reactivity series. You can easily say by the help of the reactivity series or by the concept that more reactive would replace the less reactive. Okay, so B is much reactive than A, and A inverts to C. All right, so this was the whole question. Now let's move to our next topic that we have I have been just told you in the very starting of my class, metals and non-metals and how they both are each other. All right, let's begin. All right, class, before going to this topic, how do metals and non-metals react, I just want to take you in the 9th class. 9th class mein you have studied the 4 chapters of chemistry, and in the 3rd chapter you have heard about the electronic configuration. है ध्यान बच्चे? What was electronic configuration? हमने ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा that we have suppose so many metals or non-metals or noble gases, हर एक के पास different orbitals होते हैं, है ना बच्चे? Please listen this very carefully. I'm just going to revise you for 2 minutes. You have already studied this concept, but this concept we will use how do metal and non-metal react with each other. Okay, suppose आपने ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा था that there is a nucleus and there are different cells. Okay, in these cells our electrons are moving, है ना? This we have already understood. Now the point was these shells were named as KLMN. Okay, my drawing is not so good, please bear up with me. KLMN, है ना? On the basis of the filling of electrons, we have said that our nucleus have many different shells like K, L, M, N, O, Q, R, S, and so on, है ना? And we have said that in each shell, our electrons are revolving. The first point, electrons are keep moving around the nucleus. The second point was these electrons have been filled on the basis of atomic number. है ध्यान भाई कि हमारे जो atomic numbers हैं, they have been provided कि एक cell के अंदर कितने electrons fill up हो सकते हैं. That was the second point. Now, another point we have studied, that if I'm talking about sodium, suppose this is KLMN, हमें इतना भी याद था कि हमारी जो K शेल थी उसके अंदर सिर्फ 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन आ सकते हैं, है ना? Whereas my L shell, it contains maximum 8 electrons, है ना? So we had the concept 288. Okay. So the first point I just want to say you, अगर मैं सोडियम की बात करूं, it has total 11 atomic number, and atomic number means there is exactly the same number of electrons. ये concept भी हमने study किया हुआ है, that atomic number means the number of electrons are actually the same. The second point. So if I want to fill the 11 electrons, so according to the rule, in the first shell there would be only 2 electrons, in the second there would be 8, and the last one we would have 1 only. Okay. Yes. So this was the first point. Now the second point I wanted to say, we had noble gases. Noble gases हम किसे बोलते थे? The noble gases are the gases, हमारे पास एक concept था भाई, noble gases. Noble gases are those gases which have completely filled shells. Okay. यानी हम उन्हें noble gases बोलते थे which have completely filled subshell. Completely filled means उनके पास ये जो rule था 2888, this has been completely filled. Suppose I'm taking example of yes, I'm taking example of neon and argon. This would further clarify your concept. This is sodium. Now I'm taking the example of neon and argon. नियोन के अंदर एटॉमिक नंबर होता है 10 और आर्गन के अंदर एटॉमिक नंबर होता है 18. So according to KLMN subshell, neon has 2,8. अगर मैं आर्गन की बात करूं 288, that means इसकी जो सबशेल है वो completely filled है. Okay. Now the question here arises, बच्चे मैं ये इतनी सारी बातें आपको क्यों बता रही हूँ? In the case of reaction of metal with non-metal, the answer is हर एक जो हमारा एटम है, it want to attain the noble gas configuration. दोबारा सुनो मेरी बात, कोई भी एटम है, चाहे वो मेटल हो, चाहे वो नॉन मेटल हो, चाहे वो कोई भी गैस हो, हर एक एटम, it is universal nature, it wants to attain the noble gas electronic configuration. That means वो चाहता है कि उसके सबशेल completely fill हो. Listen this very carefully. He wants कि उसके जो सबशेल हैं वो almost fill हो. Now the point here arises, ऐसा जरूरी तो नहीं है कि हर एक एटम के पास एक एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन हो. मैंने सोडियम की बात की, सोडियम का हमारे पास केस है 281, यानी ये अपना एक इलेक्ट्रॉन को इजीली लूज कर सकता है ना, सो दैट ये नियोन के कंसेप्ट में चला जाए और इसकी शेल कंप्लीटली फिल हो जाए. बट अगर मैं बात करूं क्लोरीन की, okay, if I want to talk about one electron to get the electronic configuration of completely filled. और अगर मैं बात करूं 17, it can go to 18 by taking one more electron. Okay, so he wants to take one electron, whereas sodium wants to release one electron. Okay, so that they both can attain the noble gas configuration. The first point. इसी बात का फायदा उठा के जो सोडियम और क्लोरीन है, दे रिएक्ट विद ईच अदर. और क्या करना है, सोडियम के पास एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्स्ट्रा है तो वो अपना एक इलेक्ट्रॉन दे देगा, क्लोरीन के पास एक इलेक्ट्रॉन की कमी है तो वो इजीली उस इलेक्ट्रॉन को ले लेगा, है ना, एंड दे वुड बोथ मेक अ बॉन्ड. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज द वे हाउ डू मेटल रिएक्ट विद नॉन मेटल. एम आई क्लियर बच्चे? इसीलिए ये सारा कंसेप्ट मैंने तुम्हें समझाया था कि सोडियम के पास जो एक एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन है, इट वांट टू रिलीज, whereas chlorine want to take an extra electron, so that 7 on taking one electron, it would become to 8, whereas after releasing one electron, it would become to 2. Okay, so this was the way. Now, I'm just clarifying this whole concept because I hope you have got it. Okay. So now let's do the final concept, sodium. सोडियम पॉजिटिव का मतलब क्या है, इसने एक रिलीज कर दिया. सोडियम पॉजिटिव का मतलब है इसके पास इलेक्ट्रॉन की कमी हो गई.